I'm going to preview the Baylor versus Denver women's soccer game, which will be played on August 21st at 4 p.m. Central Time on ESPN Plus. Granted, there needs to be good weather for the game so it doesn't get delayed. And I did check before all this, and it looks like good weather, but I'm just saying this in advance because you never know. Things could change really quickly. Quickly here. And it's actually a neutral site game in Missoula, Montana, as in like on the campus of Montana, as in the Montana Grizzlies. And all this. And obviously Denver is going to be used to the altitude more. They should be compared to Baylor, but you never know. And all this. And obviously Baylor is 0-1 on the year with the tie to Texas A&M 1-1. And the only first one team that scored was Texas A&M. If you go back and watch, it was a defensive miscue on a throw-in, and Texas A&M scored. And luckily, Baylor tied the game up in the second half by Lauren Olmholt, which was assisted by Alicia Lockett. And you go back and watch and what happened there. And obviously Baylor, prior to that game, played 2 exhibition games against Power 4 opponents in LSU and SMU. I already discussed the results there. Now, the Denver side of things. They did play 2 games, unlike Baylor in the regular season already. They're 1-0-1. Their win was against Air Force on the road, 2-1. The last game was actually on the road to Colorado College. And yeah, that's actually a Division I program for that sport. They are also a Division I program in men's hockey. But that's besides the point here. It was 0-0. And prior to that, they played Texas A&M at home. And they lost 4-0. But Texas Tech, they played them and they lost 4-0. But obviously Texas Tech was too good. They're ranked. And they did play Northern Colorado as well. And that was a 0-0 tie. So, just to make things clear on that. So, as you could tell, Baylor's been more battle tested with power conference opponents than Denver. But I'm not going to sleep on this Denver team by any means. And they have some more returning production than Texas A&M did prior to that game in terms of goals. I'm just calling it the way it is. And this is like last year's stats I'm going to mention. And honestly, I did list a few notable transfers in there. And I can put the roster in the description below as well, so y'all could look. Besides I didn't include freshmen on this. To be honest, I didn't. So the first player that's back is Molly Westman, number 1, 5'9" goalie. That's a goalkeeper. That's a junior. 16 goals allowed and 43 saves. Now they do have multiple goal scorers with 2 or more. And the first one is Liv Moritz, number 28, 5'6" midfielder. That's a junior. 5 goals and 33 shots attempted and 1 assist. And granted, I do not know the injury status for both of these teams here. And I know for the Baylor side of things, Arena Jemison didn't play in those practice games, but she played in the first game of the year. So I'm glad to see her back. But Ava Verplunk, she played in the first practice game and hasn't played since. I don't know what's going on there. But that's besides the point. The other one is Hannah Tate, number 8, 5'9" midfielder / defender. That's a junior. 3 goals and 38 shots attempted and 1 assist. And the last one is Samantha Drilling, number 21, 5'3" midfielder as a senior. 2 goals and 14 shots attempted and 2 assists. And the last goal, the return really is Emma Thielbar, Thielbar, number 25 of the 11-inch defender. That's a junior, 1 goal and 15 shots attempted. And granted, there are like Isabella Chidiak, number 10, 5'7" midfielder. It's a senior, 8 shots attempted. And you can go down the list if you want to look at it, honestly. Just to make things quicker. And then, of course, a few notable transfers are like Brooke Ahern, number 16, 5'9" forward. That's a senior. Alana Raimondo, number 7, 5'1" midfielder. That's a junior. So, yeah. Everybody else that I listed on last year's stats are like 2 shots attempted or 0. Besides the 8 shots attempted 1. But you get the point. Obviously, whatever you did right last game, you got to bring into this game. But whatever you did wrong last game, you got to correct in this game. And same thing goes for the practice games as well. I'm just saying, and obviously, you got to keep your composure, and you can't rely on officiating. It can be questionable, so you got to make plays to win. I'm just telling the way it is. Obviously, on defense, you need to be better and don't give up like a goal like you did against Texas A&M. I mean, a defensive mistake on a throw-in, and then they scored. You can't do that. You got to be good in those 1v1 situations. Obviously, you do not want to foul in the box or handball in the box, because that would be penalty kick, and that's a guessing game. From there, you got to be good on set piece defense, like a free kick and you're on defending end, or a corner kick. You get the point. And don't give them easy shots, period. And congest those passing lanes. And you also need to probably like force some pressure on them and make them turn the ball over in their scoring end as much as you can. And you got to clear that ball out as soon as you can, whether it's to the sideline or straight back from the back to the other side of the field, and try to start a counterattack. Just the way it is. And you got to help you out the goalie as well. And you don't want to. You got to be like good in the midfield as well. I mean, and don't want to good in the midfield as well. And of course, in general, you got to win those like 50-50 balls in the air, and don't allow any easy passes to go by you and they score. Try not to. But at the same time, you don't want to have like a yellow card, because so many yellows is a suspension, and you don't want to be down, like get a red card in general, because that means you're down a player for the rest of the game. So I'm just saying, you got to be good, solid defensively, and in the midfield as well. And you got to try to break the press. If they start pressing you, you got to be better against the press, unlike you did against A&M at times. Don't turn the ball over in your own end, because you don't want to give them so many chances. And obviously, you want to force some turnovers on their own end, so you got easier chance to score. And obviously, if you draw a foul in the box, that's PK. And same thing goes for handball, but you can't rely on officiating. But still, and you got to be good on your set piece on offense, and whether it's like a free kick and like halfway through the field or closer to the scoring, or a corner kick, obviously. And obviously, if you get some more, and you got to get some more shots and try to keep them congested all that time. So, and obviously, whatever you've been working on in practice, bring it to a game. And if I know It's way too early. But if you want to make the NCAAs this year, you need to win this type of game. I'm just saying, and I know it kind of said that about A&M, but obviously it didn't pan out. So you got to move on, learn from there. I mean, another thing as well, whatever you did right in the first half, bring it to the second half, and whatever you did wrong in the first half, you got correct for the second half, and you got to make adjustments on the fly. Not just from like first half to second half, but during those halves. And you got to stay hydrated as well in the altitude. So I'm just saying, because in Texas it's lower altitude compared to where Denver's used to. And it's a little bit less of altitude when you go to Montana compared to Denver. But the point is, Denver is more used to it. Potentially. You never know, because they might have some players from Texas and all this. But my point is, I'm sure they're going to give some time anyway to kind of get used to the altitude. So whatever, and I don't anticipate Denver being a ranked team at all. I just don't. And there might not even be a receiving votes team for all we know. I don't think they're going to be, but you never know. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like, subscribe button. See you guys later. On the road at 800 subscribers. Scores ultimate goal is 1,000 more. So my mind those scores like video, comment video really helps YouTube background. So more people see us, sharing the video does as well. So more people could watch it. If you're watching and not subscribed, hit subscribe button. It's free notification bell as well. And another thing is the bench play needs to be good as well, because you got to give some break to the starters here, especially your key contributors, and you got to have them step up. And even if they get shut down, your key contributors, you got to have somebody else step up to help them out. So, and obviously you want to shut down the best players for Denver as much as possible.